So, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here with us, we have, over the last year, been doing daily lives every single day of the week where we just have a bit of a chat, we have a moan, we go through the news, and we keep each other company through these endless lockdowns. Usually my husband Mark is here with me, but today he's over there editing manically. So it's just me today, and I said to Mark, I was just saying this over on Instagram, we were looking through the news. Nicola Sturgeon, I don't want to talk about her. Vaccines and the ongoing wrangle, we've done it to death. And actually there is no news that really fired me up. So I thought, why don't we just have a chat? A COVID-free chat where we don't mention it, where we don't mention any of the bad news. How about that? Shall we? Should we just have a trip down memory lane? Let's do a bit of nostalgia. I was saying to Mark yesterday, this morning, everybody at the moment is craving a bit of nostalgia. And I notice whenever we have a bit of a nostalgic chat, everyone gets very excited. So I thought I would open nostalgia today with fish and chips. We had fish and chips last night for the first time, oh my God, in forever. I can't remember the last time we had fish and chips. And it was so lovely. Everyone's paying a bit of a price today. Of course, you always do when you have fish and chips. But it got me thinking about, and it was really nice because what we did is we ordered it, and then we ordered it here, and then half of it went over to my mum and dad, and we did a Zoom chat with our fish and chips. It was nice. It would have been nice if they'd actually been here, but you know, you got to do what you got to do at the minute, haven't you? But anyway, it got me thinking about fish and chips. And we were saying to the girls that when we were growing up, Jessica, you're very young, so you won't know this, but people that are more of my age group will agree with this probably, that fish and chips were the only takeaway that we ever had. And the girls were like, really? Because I have to say, we've been really bad with takeaways recently. We've been having loads of them. I'm going to stop it from this week. We're having a full break from takeaways. But the girls couldn't believe it. I said, oh my God, yeah. And I remember our fish and chip shop was called Ginger's. And the guy who owned the shop was ginger, had thick ginger hair like that. And he had the best fish and chips anywhere. And it was the most exciting thing ever when my mum would say, shall we get fish and chips? Because it was extremely rare. Probably once every 6 months, if that. Once or twice a year, if that. And I always wanted to go with them. And I would always hold the fish and chips in the cart. And the smell of those fish and chips coming through the wrapping, through the paper, was just divine. So I opened the forum. Go. Talk to me about fish and chips. What are your memories of fish and chips? Yes, wrapped in newspaper. I know. I was trying to explain to the girls yesterday because the fish and chip came in a box. And actually, it was really annoying them breaking down all the boxes and nowhere to put the bloody boxes. So why don't they just wrap it in paper? Leftover batter. Yeah, I think Xander just said that. I saw it go up. Scraps. I think we used to call them crunchies. And sometimes you could get them, couldn't you, after school? You'd go in and you'd buy just a bag of just the crunchies. Younger people, you won't know this. Just, you know, all the little bits of batter that loosen off into the oil? They would just fry those and put them in a bag. And you'd just eat fried batter. Crackling, oh, you called them. Yeah. Gherkins. I had a gherkin yesterday. I had a gherkin. And I ordered a pickle onion because I felt nostalgic. And then I bit into it and I remembered how disgusting a fish and chip pickle onion is. My favourite fish and chips is rock. And nobody else ever has rock. I mean, my mum does, my dad does, my sister does, my family does. But outside of my family, I've never known another person say they have rock and chips. Lots of salt. Oh, do you put pepper on? I've never even considered. Oh, Sarah Davis says they called them gribbles. Never even considered pepper on fish and chips. Why haven't I? Love the batter bits. Always say, don't forget to get the batter. Oh, do they still do it? Can you still buy battered bits? The little bits?
I've got battered bits.
Mark's piped up now and said he's got battered bits. You've got your earphones in.
Hey?
My mum, when a child, would only eat chips and newspaper because it tasted better. That's what, yeah, old people always say that, don't they? Louise Jones, I'm 47 and in high school at lunchtime we would all go to the chippy and have in newspaper chips and scraps with loads of salt and vinegar. Oh my God, I know. And do you remember when you were a kid and you might be coming home from school and somebody would have a bag of chips at the bus stop and you'd smell it and you'd think like you could kill for it because you were so starving because school dinners were so disgusting. Battered sausage. You see, I hate a battered... Mark always has a battered sausage. He had one last night. Oh. I love fish and chips, but miss eating it by the sea. That's the best. Well, if I'm honest, I always find it a bit of a pain in the arse if I eat fish and chips on the beach because the seagulls always get it. I like to be at home, cosy, or in the car on the way home, stealing chips. But the bad news was, so I got my fish and chips delivered yesterday, and it was pouring with rain. The man was so lovely. He goes, be careful. He gave me the bag. I had no idea there was a can of drink in it, and it was soaking wet, the bag, and it fell out, and guess what? Smashed onto my broken toe that was just healing, and then the next toe along, gushing with blood. So I'm back to not doing my couch to 5K. It's so annoying. So annoying. Okay, another thing, I was tripped down memory lane. This morning in the paper, they had a whole load of items, electrical items, that were like 40, 50 years old, like a dryer that I think was 50 years old. Let me see if I can find it. 50 years old and was still working. No, a tumble dryer. Oh, it might be here actually. Hang on. So I thought it might be quite nice to ask you guys, have any of you got something like that ancient? A tumble dryer, a hair dryer? Oh, there was even an old microwave that was like from, I don't know. Oh, here it is. Here's the piece. Oh, a microwave from 1985, still going. Look at this old hairdryer. I had one like that. Morning, Kiki. Look at that tumble dryer. 1969, and it's still working. Look at this. This guy has this. So he uses his mother's electric hair clippers. 80 years. Right, 1941. Those hair clippers are from, and he still uses them. Oh no, Kiki's having crunchy nut cornflakes. I love crunchy. Making roast dinner later. Massive chest freezer. Oh, you've got a chest freezer. Russ Souch has a chest freezer from 30 years ago. I was just reminiscing with Mark. You'll see it in the No Name Sunday show about... do you remember... Oh, look at this fridge as well. Look at this pair. Look. That's the same fridge they've had since 1960. But yeah, I was reminiscing about how, do you remember everybody rented their television? And we used to rent our television, and my mum's thing always was, I said, why do we rent it, Mum? Why don't we buy it? And her thing always was, well, because you want somebody to come round and fix it for free when it goes wrong. And of course, that's what used to happen. Do you remember that? Your telly would go wrong, the man from Radio Rentals would come round and he would fix it. This is an anathema to our kids. They couldn't imagine somebody coming around and fixing something like that now. We just don't, do we? Oldest electrical item is 22 years old. Fridge freezer, says Nicholas Straw. That's good.
You are cooks. You are there, darling.
Sharona's freezer's 19-year-old. Yeah, Jessica Woodstock, older than your nan. 1941. That was the hair shearers. Radio rentals. Do you remember the radio rentals man when he used to come round? Oh my God. And we'd all be like this. Like, is he going to fix it? What are you going to do? The terror that the radio rentals man wouldn't be able to fix it. And then you'd have to get another television. And then there'd be a long wait before you got another television. Oh, little box on the wall to change the channels. Oh, I don't remember that random nothingness. I don't think we ever had that. Rediffusion. Had to put the money in the back. Oh my God. I think that's what my nan had. Denise Nelson Gale as well. We had a TV. You had to put £1 in and that's how you paid your rental. Mark, do you remember that?
What's that, babe?
£1 in the back of the television for your rental.
My mum used to put 50p in the electric machine.
Yeah, we used to.
And then we'd raid the electric machine to get money out to go down the shops.
Black and white TV, I had black and white TV.
Do you remember the tellies that had the doors that closed on the front?
Yeah, you had the doors, the folding doors.
That was so cool.
I remember DVD rental shop, Zoe. I can't believe it. Blockbusters.
Netflix, when they were posting films.
Netflix. Blockbusters is now Poundland. I mean, going to Blockbusters. I remember when I used to go up there with my sister's first boyfriend. Rudy Buckle was his name, such a good name. And we would go and we would buy popcorn on the way in to Blockbusters so that we had something to eat because we were in there for so long.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
So we'd eat our popcorn while we were choosing our DVD. JBB, I miss Blockbusters. I miss Blockbusters. It was an outing, wasn't it? It was a whole thing. You'd go there, you'd choose your film, you'd invite some friends round, you might get a pizza into the oven that you'd bought in Sainsbury's. Grange Hill with Tucker Jenkins, Faith Goodman. Oh, yes. I used to be an extra in Grange Hill sometimes. Actually, I was reading an article with Charlene White, our new anchor, who's lovely, by the way. And she was saying she used to be an extra sometimes in Grange Hill. Mind you, I think she's much younger than me. No, she's much younger than me. We wouldn't have been there at the same time. I hated it, Wonder Woman says, when people didn't rewind the videotapes when giving it back to the video shop. It was a scandal. People that didn't rewind their videos. Do you remember? It was like the worst thing in the world when you got video. That's so funny. I forgot this. Oh, the outrage. Somebody hadn't rewound the video. Oh, it was so... Betamax. Exactly, Jenny Matthews.
Shit. I need my phone back.
Chrissy used to hate returning... Why?
Sorry.
You can't.
Oh, you're live.
I'm live on it.
Oh, can I borrow yours? Sorry.
I used to hate returning the video. Now, how many people... What are you doing?
Take photos of the headline.
Oh. How many people used to go over the time when their video should go back? Who wants to guess as to whether I was one of those culprits? Can you remember how much a Blockbuster video was?
It weren't cheap.
Who can remember? And who can remember what the fine was? I love putting these questions out to you because you very rarely disappoint me. Usually somebody knows. Carol Moore, our first remote control TV, my mum wouldn't let us use the remote in case we broke it. I know these precious things. Angela Locke says it was £3. Becky Oacy was in debt to Blockbusters. I was in debt. I got to the point where I couldn't go into Blockbusters for a while. Angela Locke, £3. Deborah Taylor says £1.99. So Unique says it was blooming expensive. Teletext, I know, Reem. Do you remember Somebody said to me the other day that their mum still books their holidays on Teletext.
Do you remember CFAX?
Yeah.
Oh my God, my granddad used to watch it during the day. That was daytime telly.
That was daytime telly.
Oh, how funny.
Gemma Crutchlow says £5. I don't think it was £5 for a film. I don't think it was £5. Mid-1970s, I still have my electric toaster, says Andrea Crash. Opens both sides by hand. Still working, and you still have got the receipt and it's never been repaired. Mark, did you hear that?
That'd be worth something.
We've got that bloody Smeg one that I love because I love the look of it. So
shit.
Expensive. Shit.
Shit.
Broke down within months. Smeg kettle. Shit.
I'm going to chuck it
Loved
out now.
it. No, don't chuck it out because I really do want to make a complaint to Smeg.
No, I'm doing it.
No.
Oh, Christ, look at this.
Do you miss Pick and Mix in Woolworths? Claire Ross Reed, I miss Pick and Mix in Woolworths so much. Kiki really wants us to do a proper movie, turn the house into a cinema, and somebody, one of you guys was saying to me they now do really good pick and nick on the online. We used to call it pick and nick because you'd eat a sweet and then try and nick a sweet. Did anyone else call it pick and nick? Oh, God, look at this. Joe Pardon, we used to have a video man in a van full of videos and sweeties.
God, that sounds dodgy. Doesn't it?
Can you imagine that being allowed to happen now? He's probably a perfectly decent man, but now everyone's so suspicious of everything. Oh, Faith Goodman, when the teacher would wheel in the huge TV on wheels so we could watch TV during lessons.
And it was such a nice feeling.
It was and you'd feel so cosy, wouldn't you? And you'd almost feel like you were home. Oh, yeah, Teresa, I was going to buy a Smeg kettle, Nadia. They did look lovely, but you don't rate it. Nah. No, sorry, cannot recommend it. Looks gorgeous, but cannot recommend it. You'll end up boiling water in your bloody pan on the stove. I don't know, maybe they've changed them. I shouldn't say that. You should make up your own mind. But personally, in my opinion, it was shit. We had a mobile library. Used to get books for my nan. Well, Nanny Di was a mobile library. Well, she wasn't a mobile library. She used to drive a mobile library.
She is a mobile library.
Have you got any photos of her with her mobile library?
You could never see her head. She was so short. She used to have to sit on blocks.
I can't believe. She used to have to sit on books.
And she used to have bricks on her feet. Special blocks on her shoes.
Oh, my God. Here's something for you, Nadia. The Queen succeeded to the throne 69 years ago yesterday. Oh, how interesting. Did she? Dualit is good. Yeah, we used to have a dualit. Something happened to it. I'll tell you one thing, though. None of these would have lasted like, I've forgotten whose it was now, from the 1970s. Was it Andrea Crash? Yeah, Nanny Di can drive. She used to drive Jessica, she used to drive a massive mobile library. Mark was just saying she used to have bricks on her feet because her legs were too short, and she used to sit on piles of books. Taking pop bottles back to the shop for money, Fiona Cromack. Do you remember we used to go looking around in the streets to find them? And then we'd buy a single cigarette because you could go into the shop and buy a single cigarette. I should mention it on Insta. I really should. I keep saying that, Xander, but I never do it. Do you remember the mobile rag and bone man would come and sharpen your knives and scissors? I do. I loved old rag and bone man. Rag and bone. Did he ever move up to having a van, the rag and bone man? Because our rag and bone man most definitely had pony. A knackered old pony. Oh, Lee, I saw a Freddo for 25p in the shop the other day. In my day, they were 10p. So in my day, they were probably tuppence or a penny.
My rag and bone man chased me and Perry Radford down the street because we tried to nick something off the back of
No, you were a vagabond. Pure vagabond. Deborah Holsworth, my husband was in Grange Hill. He was in the scene to save Mr. Scruffy. He was in the hall shouting, "We want Scruffy, we want Scruffy." It was Miss McCluskey time. Oh, I'm trying to remember. I mean, I suppose I would have been about 12 or 13 when I used to do it because I was at, I was at stage school then. Are rag and bone men travellers? I would think so.
As was.
Yeah, I think so.
He lived under the Westway.
Did he?
Yeah.
Taz bars, Nicola S.
Oh, yeah,
Taz.
one of those. Yeah,
No.
Yeah, the things that you press the top and their mouth would open and a sweet would come.
Oh, is that what they were called? Oh, yeah, I loved them. Well, I did film. Well, I was in the scene with Todd Carty, but I didn't speak to him because I was an extra, and I was like, oh, because everybody fancied Todd Carty, didn't they? And then years later, when I went to EastEnders and Todd Carty was there, it was so weird seeing him because I'd had such a crush. Everybody had a crush on him, didn't they? And then when I met him on EastEnders, he's just the sweetest man. Like really, really, like when he talks to you, he always puts his head on one side and talks really gently. He's got a really soft, gentle voice. He's absolutely lovely. Do you remember the Muffin Man, Nads? The Muffin Man, the show with the donkey. Is that right? I think so. Do you remember the post being delivered at 7:30 a.m? The post used to come so early, didn't it? Oh, jumble sales, Heinz feet. I used to love a jumble sale. I used to love the stink of it. It always smelt really weird, didn't it? The mustiness of everybody's clothes. Button Moon, Wooden Tops, Jennifer Kando. I remember the Wooden Tops. What are we having for dinner today? Sawdust and hay. Loved it. Loved it. Remember Todd skating off the set? Oh, I do. In Dancing on Ice. What do you think's going to happen with Dancing on Ice? Mark was saying that somebody else left yesterday. Who left yesterday?
Their fourth celeb, I can't remember. They've run out of reserve celebs.
But they've run out of reserve celebs.
Give me a call.
Because people have walked out, people have had things broken. It's becoming like the jump. I remember when the first whiteboards came into school and we thought it was revolutionary. Well, they didn't even come into school when I was at school, Rachel. It's not until the girls were at school that I heard about a whiteboard. Nads, if you want some otter love, you can watch the live sea otter cam on the Monterey Bay Aquarium website. Or put Joey the Sea Otter into YouTube. Oh, I'm going to do that. Joey the Sea Otter. Thank you for that, Molly26 Rose. That is lovely. Oh, 4 people have gone, Anne. What, did somebody leave in a storm? Did somebody else get hurt? Was that what it was? Board rubbers being thrown at your head, funky kids. Whatever happened to board rubbers being thrown at your head? And rulers. We had teachers that used to go like this on your knuckles. Pure abuse. Nadia, please say happy birthday to my daughter, Sarah Maloney. Thank you. Of course I will. Happy birthday, Sarah Maloney. Happy birthday, Sarah Maloney. Happy birthday, Sarah Maloney. Happy birthday to you. And on that note, very, very happy birthday. Lee Peart has just opened the floor with the sentence, I miss ink cartridges. Would anyone like to talk about ink cartridges? Right. I had a very, very rocky relationship with ink cartridges.
I wondered what you were going to say.
I did have a rocky relationship with ink cartridges because I always wanted to be the girl that just went like that and pinged my ink cartridge in. And I used to love having to put an ink cartridge in, but I never managed it once without getting ink all over my bloody hands. You know, when I think back, I just can't believe no one spotted I had ADHD. I just can't believe it. I used to find it so difficult to organise stuff at school. I mean, I think the thing was, because I was very vocal, and I think teachers liked me because I was always very, like, engaged in the class, and so I used to love anything where we were talking about stuff. But things like the organisation of my pencil case was an impossibility. It's a bit like the kitchen drawers. That was my pencil case.
Have you seen
and I
your
always
room?
had a linking ink. I've cleared it up.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Cleared it up last night. If you show that room on that vlog, you will be in trouble. Mark and I are going to fall out.
I'm leaving you.
ADHD wasn't a thing back then, Nads. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, of course. So you would have just been called chaotic. Yeah, they would have just thought I was naughty and messy. That's true. Alison Craig, of course, yeah. Yeah, but I definitely think that, yeah, because things like dyscalculus, I mean, I can get into tears about numbers even now. All that stuff I wouldn't have been tested for. What they always used to say to me was, and to my mum was, actually, when we think about it now, I should talk to my mum about this. She's very, very bright. She could go very far, but she just can't concentrate. She's got to learn to sit still and concentrate. I still can't sit still and concentrate. But actually, if you think about it, that's how I've made my, that's my career, isn't it? I don't sit still or concentrate. Funny, isn't it? But actually, I've been doing loose women for 20 years now, which is probably the very thing that I used to drive teachers mad with. Funny. Funny that. Is there anything anybody can think of that was used as a negative when by the teachers at school that they actually think now was a really positive thing in their life? Oh, I love that. Who's that? Tony Dunsford says, actresses are naturally restless. I like that. I might have that emblazoned across the front door. So when people enter, I'm just, it's naturally red. It's true, actually. I mean, most actors I've met are completely barking mad. Daydreaming, Leor vibe feeler, perfect. Now Leor is an artist. Daydreaming, I don't think anyone should ever tell anyone off for daydreaming. Yeah, you'd get a rubber at your head, wouldn't you, if you were daydreaming? My hot lunch dinners used to cost £5 a week. My mum had to give me the cash to bring into school, Gabrielle. £5 a week. Me too, Nadia. And out of my 8 children, 4 have ADHD, global development, autistic spec. And I definitely had it too, but they just wouldn't have tested then. Yeah, when you have that energy, you have to release it, Amber. Exactly. So that thing that used to drive my teachers mad and frustrate them because they thought it would, you know, it was ruining my chance of a successful life, actually is the thing that I've earned my living from. It's funny, isn't it? Covering exercise books with wallpaper or magazine covers. Oh, and I always wanted to do it really neatly. My God, this is turning into a misery. A misery story. Oh my God, my best friend, Katie Pryor at school, she was one of those. I always choose really organised friends, interesting. And she used to do her books so beautifully, and I would really, really try. I would put everything into it, but it would always look shit. Did anyone watch the first Thin Blue Line yesterday? Was that a new series or an old series? Because I haven't watched any Thin Blue Line, and I thought maybe I could catch up and watch this series. Maybe we could review it. So anybody else, something that their teacher said to them was a negative, but they think now is a positive? Milk, honey. My teachers used to leave me when I fell asleep in class because they knew that I had a lot going on at home. I always appreciate that looking back now. Oh, really? That's so lovely. Vicky Turnbull. Apparently they don't need exams after all. Well, you know what I think about exams. I can say happy birthday to your daughter Charla, as we can't be together and she's watching. Oh, from your mum Mandy Dennis to Charla. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Charla. Happy birthday to you. Bubble writing. And again, I would try and do bubble writing. My bubble writing would be shit. Oh, was that the first ever episode last night with Keely Hawes? Ah, okay. So it wasn't a new series. A Line of Duty, that's what I meant, Emma Watson, yeah. Shout out for Katie Johnson. Katie Johnson. I remember my brother was taken into the staff room to be told off, and my brother always had a temper. He stormed out, slammed the door, and broke the glass. Has his temper served him well in his life, Angie? Being told that you ask too many questions. The world is huge. We need to ask questions. Well, Jamie B125. That's just the worst thing for a teacher to say, isn't it?
They said it to me all the time.
Oh, because Mark's so curious. I mean, Mark is exhausting, though, but because he's very smart and he just asks questions about everything, but sometimes I want to go, stop asking questions. What do you mean? The detail of the detail. But that's what very smart people do. It's a curse for them and for the people they're asking. Tutti Fruit. I used to sit right in front of my English teacher and I fell asleep once reading Lord of the Flies. Woke up to the entire class standing over me. Oh no! Cruel teacher! Oh my God, Ellen, having to shower with everyone after PE, always on my period. Awful. I remember milking the bottles at HW. And in the summer, they'd be a bit rotten, wouldn't they? Anyway, my darlings, I've got to go. You know my lovely friend Lisa? It's her birthday today, if you want to wish her happy birthday on Instagram. I'm so gutted I can't see her today. It's just awful. But she does a lovely Lisa Loves in the No Name Sunday show today, so you'll see her there. And Betty joins the Teddy Talks today on the No Name Sunday show, so you've got a bit of a treat. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do, so that you don't miss out on stuff. It doesn't cost you anything. It's all free. Morning. Who's that? Oh, you got your card and book, Drew. I'm so pleased. Outside toilets. I know. Horrible. We should do more of this nostalgia. I think we've got to do more. It's what we need to do. A little bit of escapism. PE knickers. Big blue knickers. We could do with some of them. To be honest. I'd love a pair of PE knickers. Group hug with Xander. Come on. Ha, ha, ha. Lisa's Insta name, Wendy Stewart, is Lisa _ Mejuto. MEJUTO. But I've just done a post for her on my feed, a nice soppy post. So you can check out her there. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified by YouTube when we're live. And if this is your first time to the channel, have a look around it. There's loads on here. There's our family reality show vlogs. There's mental health films. There's foodie films. There's gardening films. And Mark is about to export the No Name Sunday show. So hopefully it will be up with you in the next 10 hours in the family guest area. Anyway, everybody. Oh, what's this? Little poem. Little poem for Time for a Rhyme, personalised poetry, Kirsty Wilson. Nadia, you're special, one of a kind. I love your curly hair and your crazy creative mind. One of the purest souls you could find. This is a lovely channel for us to get behind. Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you. We love you. Mark, say bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Love ya.